afternoon, good evening, good morning. My name is Robbie Astral and you have come to Logitech. Welcome to the channel. Today we're discussing a interesting product, something that is definitely and was well overdue, and that was the upgrade and new webcam, an upgrade of our previous one. Currently I'm using what is on screen now, and that is an older Logitech webcam, just a base model. I believe you can still get them, and they're probably between $70 and $100 at the moment. It only shoots in 720p, and if you have a look at the image from both sides where the two black monitors are, what you're going to see is a lot of noise that's more noticeable there, as well as the fact that the lighting itself isn't being reflected as accurately as it should be. With that being said, the lighting in this room is specifically done so today so that you can see the difference between the old webcam and the new Logitech Brio 4K webcam. So without holding you back further, let's see the difference straight away. Okay, so what we actually have now is a 90-degree angle. The Logitech Brio has the capability of doing this. So you are now seeing the window to my left, which is radiating sunlight in as well. And also you can see the whole room and myself lit up. And the surprising and amazing thing, this is because of the HDR capabilities of the camera. HDR is currently enabled, and just like the claims say, look great in any light. I was going to say look bright in any light, but great will do. So the Logitech Brio 4K is the premium 4K webcam with HDR, as mentioned, and Windows Hello support. That's for your facial recognition software regarding entry into your Microsoft operating system. It's got 4K Ultra HD 2160p at 30 frames per second capabilities. It's got full HD though at 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second, as well as 720 at 30, 60 and 90 frames per second. So that's a mean feat. The 1080p at 60 frames per second setting will suit a lot of people, sometimes more so than the 4K capabilities of the camera. It's not cheap, coming in at approximately, if you find it at a good price, just under $300 or 300 Australian dollars. I wouldn't spend more than $199 US for it if you're in the States, and it has a up to 5 times zoom capability. The diagonal field of view currently is at 90 degrees, but it has capabilities of minimizing that to 78 or 65 degrees. It has autofocus abilities, auto light correction, noise cancelling mics, and it's got 2 omnidirectional mics in it, USB-A plug and play, and supports USB-C. The cable length that it comes with is 2.2 meters, and it has a attachable privacy shutter as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do the unboxing. That was by my own fault. The other day I lost all the footage. We will not get into that because it's a bit of a doozy. But the package contents, that's right, it comes in a brown paper bag. No, it comes in a brown box. The package contents was a detachable universal mounting clip on the webcam, attachable privacy shutter, a travel bag, a 2.2 meter USB cable, which is USB-A to USB-C cable, and that is, I believe, a 3.0 cable, and your user documentation as well. It has a 3-year limited hardware warranty, and it's an amazing little camera for the price. I was considering getting a DSLR, but unfortunately, just currently, they're just too expensive for my means currently, and I had to settle with a webcam, and I'm surprised how far webcams have come today. This camera has been out for a couple of years now, but the good thing about that is Logitech have had a chance to iron out the flaws that were associated with it when it came out. A lot of people are struggling or struggle to get 4K capability. I'll explain to you now that go onto the website, have a look at go onto the Logitech website and have a look at the requirements and the specs that you need to run it. Essentially, I'll go through the doozies, and that's that 3.0 USB requirements are a must for 4K video transfer. It's just the bandwidth essentially. So USB 2.0 has approximately, if you look at the figure, 500 megabits a second, I think it is. USB 3.0 on the other hand has a luxury of 3000, and that's a requirement for the 4K transfer. If you do not plug it in to a USB 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 capable port, then, or you're using even an extension cable that is not rated for as such, then you're not going to have the ability to shoot or capture the video in 4K. Now, other requirements, you need to update the camera's firmware. There's a couple of updates, and if you go to the associated Logitech Brio webcam webpage, and go to the, I believe, resources or support for the downloads, then you will have the requirements that you need to get the camera up and running effectively jotted down there as well. Now, you can use the Logitech G Hub software to operate your camera. You can also use Logitech Capture, as well as, bear with me one moment, just a simple app that's called Logitech Camera Settings. Now, I currently utilize Logitech Capture. I find it to be the most effective for my means, and what that allows me to do, the Logitech Capture software, is place it as a source into OBS Studios, where we are currently recording today. Now, I'm not done with this camera per se just yet. There's still more fine tuning that I can do regarding exposure, white balance, and all the little nitty gritties like contrast and brightness, just to get a better image. Also, anti-flicker at 50 Hertz or 60 Hertz. I'm not 100% sure which one works better. I haven't had enough time to completely go through it. This is as simple as it was to get this clear image at this stage, is by going through the instruction set that's been laid out to you by myself and Logitech itself. It's very, very simple. So you just have to remember that utilize the USB 3.0 ports for 4K. Make sure that you upgrade everything where required, and utilize the right software. So for example, if you just upgrade the firmware in the camera and then you open up OBS Studios, you will be able to recognize, OBS will be able to recognize it as a video feed and add it as a source. The problem is you won't get the same functionality and availability of things such as the zooming and the HDR being enabled. It doesn't have it enabled by default. It has autofocus as well and whatnot. So what I do is I put it with Logitech Capture software and I turn on OBS, then I turn on the Logitech Capture software, okay? And then OBS will recognize the Logitech Capture software. So you'll see two options, the Logitech Brio itself and the Logitech Capture software. And that's what you actually utilize with your settings that you've input where it's at its most and best functionality. And then you have that image portrayed on OBS as crisply or should I say as cleanly as you like. Now what I'll do as a direct comparison as well is I will turn all the lights out in this room, bar it be, and thank God for the 90-degree angle, bar it be the light coming in from outside, just so that you guys can see how the Logitech Brio handles this. Currently there is a pink light above me, there is a LED strip behind me, and we'll turn those off and we'll have no light in here except complete shadow with some harsh glare coming in from outside as well. Bear with me one moment. Okay, so this is it. This is it with all the lights out, even the white spreadsheet I had in front of me so that there was no light coming and being emitted towards my face. And this is how you see me. It's not the greatest image, but with HDR enabled, it's very dark in here, and it truly is living up to its words, where in any light condition you are shown, well, you can be flattered and be shown quite kindly. I'll give you an example now. We'll go back to the original webcam that I was using and you can see the difference yourself. Here we go. So this is currently, you know, in essence, the webcam now can see me a lot better. There are shadows, it's dark, but that's the beauty of the HDR enabled. It will pick you up in any sort of light. You do have to understand though, if you are trying to create an ambient effect, it's not always going to be the best option. But then again, to have that ability to do so, you do require some form of the Logitech software. If you're using OBS or Streamlabs OBS, then I suggest do utilize the Logitech Capture software. And it's very, very simple. It's borderline self-explanatory. You just have to install it. Okay, guys? USB 3.0, and don't spend over $200 or $300, depending on where you are in the world, coming from the States to Australia. And you'll find yourselves with a decent webcam. That webcams have come a long way from the past, and they're catching up. It's got a decent motor in it, and yeah, I can't complain. So hope this helps shed some light on the Logitech Brio Ultra HD webcam with HDR, and I hope you guys have a good day. Please, if this was at all useful, hit the like button, please subscribe, and peace out, y'all.